Well, Colm Bonnar is after winning his opening competitive league clash as Tipperary manager with a 114 to 21 point win here at O'Moore Park in Laois. It wasn't pretty at times at the start. I mean, Laois settled much better and they were well ahead in terms of chances created in the first half. Created 23, only converted 7, had 3 goal chances within there and obviously didn't convert at all. Tipperary had just 17 chances in that first half and scored 11. Jason Ford, excellent performance throughout. He scored 11 points in total. 5 of those came from play, and he scored some beautiful stuff from centre forward. Dennis Maher, he played full forward, and he was a bull, a wrecking ball in at full forward. Did his usual thing of collect the ball, turn, lean into the fullback, and run at him. He was unlucky a couple of times in terms of getting scores, but he set up 4 or 5 in the first half alone. Mark Keogh, he worked tirelessly throughout the game, and obviously this guy is also playing with UCC at the moment. He scored 4 points from play. I thought Barry Heffernan was a colossal in the half-back line. Laois drew an awful lot of men out the field, as you'd expect here, and it was a rain-sodden O'Moore Park, but still they got they actually had a good style of play and they were using the ball very well. And it was actually Tipperary who were struggling to use the ball well in the first half, but they kind of settled down after a while. And what Tipperary were doing was an awful lot just feeding the ball to each other, man on the shoulder, hand pass, the extra hand pass all the time, but creating scoring opportunities. Now they got turned over a bit in the first half. Not everything went to plan, but you could see that they're actually trying to develop that style this year. And it was a much changed team. James Quigley was full back. He did pretty well. Craig Morgan was excellent at corner back. Dylan Quirk did all right at wing back. Barry Heffernan, as I said, was excellent. Michael Breen did well. Ger Brown had an okay performance. Probably disappointed he didn't score a goal or maybe even get on the score sheet at all. A couple of odd things. Dan McCormick hitting freeze from his own half and hitting more or less onto the end line when Jason Ford might have taken him on himself. I was a bit surprised with that. But overall for Tipperary, not a bad performance, really seeing it out. But the red card to Paddy Purcell early on in the second half, he seemed to dig his hurley into the midriff of Craig Morgan, who was down holding the family jewels for a while, but he was able to play on eventually. Picky Maher scored 1-8 of the 1-14 that Laois managed to total. 3 more points from goalkeeper Ender Rowland, and then 3 points from substitute James Keyes, who was very good. And straight away after the red card, you thought Laois would have given up. They actually didn't. And Ender Rowland sent 65 in just maybe a minute later, which Picky Maher seemed to divert to the back of the net. So 1-5 for Picky Maher. He gave Tipperary certainly plenty of trouble in this game. But for Tipperary, after a month ago losing to Kerry, I think it was important to get a win here and see it out. Horrible conditions, everyone kind of maybe teeing this up for an ambush, but got the job done. And I think they'll be happy enough from that point of view. A relief from Colm Bonnar to get that first competitive win. But Laois were quite good value here. They'll have more players to come back and did quite well. And I think there's plenty of hope for them going forward if they can keep playing like this and competing like this, because not everyone played brilliantly for them. They have a lot of forwards there, like Paddy Purcell will be suspended now. But you'd expect more out of him. You'd expect more scores out of Ross King. But a dirty even. I mean, those players who were slipping when they were just trying to turn, hand passes not going to plan, people miss-hitting the ball. It was such a dirty, horrible evening. I can't overstate that. But professional enough stuff for Tip for a finish. And Laois will be just a little bit disappointed.